Hi, everyone. Today on the show, we have an incredible guest. His name is Sammie Lee Hill, all the way from America. Hi, Sammie. How are you?
I'm just great. Natasha, how you doing? I'm fine.
I'm doing really well, thank you. I'm very excited for this interview because you sent me across just a few little things that have happened in your life. Well, they're not just a few little things. There's so much that's happened. So did you want to just tell us from the beginning how you grew up in the hood?
Yeah, when I was first born back in the day, um, we wasn't that well off. Come from a pretty poor family. But anyhow, there was a lot of things to do in the neighborhood. We all got along. We had fun. The family was really tight and stuff. But I guess one of the main things growing up, you want to get out of the hood and try to become something productive in your life. And during my time as a young child, at the age of 10, I always wanted to be a police officer and I always wanted to be a songwriter. And just what? I became both.
That's fantastic. But then you had your trials and tribulations. You had lost your brother when you were 14 years old to drowning.
Yes, I lost my very first brother when I was 14 years old. At that time, he was probably, I think, 19 or 20. And they was out doing some water skiing. And they had an accident and my brother went underneath and they didn't find his body for about 6, 7 days later. It was pretty bad because it happened on the 4th of July
Oh,
back in,
no.
yeah, back in 1965. And it was pretty bad.
Yeah. And then you also, at 16 years of age, your mother shot your father.
Yeah, no, my mom actually stabbed my dad in self-defense. There was no gun involved at all. But
Okay.
my mom was taken into custody where they interviewed her. Me being a retired police officer, that's what normally happens. Whenever you have a serious crime like that, regardless at that time if you are suspect or not, they would have to take you downtown, interview you, and then determine if it was self-defense or not. And it was self-defense, and they was able to release my mom with no further action taken.
Oh, okay. And then also you lost your twin brother at 24.
Yeah, my twin brother, unfortunately, um, he was on a doctor medication. And apparently the doctor told him he cannot consume alcohol with this type of medication. But I guess it fell on deaf ears. But my brother was drinking alcohol while taking that medication. And he passed out. And his girlfriend at the time knocked on my door and said, "Hey, there's something wrong with your brother." So I went downstairs. We were living in an apartment at that time. So I went downstairs to check on my brother, and I actually saw him dying. Okay. He was barely breathing. She had already dialed for the ambulance to come pick him up, to take him to the hospital, to transport him to the emergency center. And when they picked him up, took him to the hospital, my wife at that time and his girlfriend at the time, we drove to the hospital. As soon as we walked in, the doctor told me, "Say, well, your brother didn't make it." And here's you want to hear the worst, one of the worst part about this? I had to go to my mom to tell her that her son was dead.
Oh, no.
That was really bad. That was really, really bad. And I would never
Yep.
forget. I would never forget what she said to me. She told me to leave the room, and I did. I walked into the living room, and then I can hear her crying.
Oh, no. I'm sorry for all your losses. It's how you've come on top of everything is incredible. How did you deal with it? Is that why you went in the police force, or how did you cope with it all?
Well, I had always been told by my parents that I was a very strong individual. Okay, and I don't let things get to me too easily, you know.
Oh, that's
But I even recall one of my police chiefs, because when I worked for the police department before I retired, I went through three different police chiefs. But I can recall one of my police chiefs telling me, "What makes you tick, Officer Hill?" And I go, "Excuse me?" He go, "What makes you tick?" And he go, "I have never seen you angry. I have never seen you upset. And you've been on this department for years." And I just basically told him, and I said, "Hey, Chief, I just takes it in, shake it off, and get back into character."
good on you. I think that's what keeps you going, because you had your trials and tribulations even in the police force. You had a district where you were looking after about 40,000 people and you were judged for your color.
Yes, yes, that was a lot of responsibility, being the watch commander, being in charge, not only looking out for your patrol officer that's underneath you, but then you're dealing with a city of a population, 40,000 people, that you have to keep under safeguard.
My goodness. And also counselor, mentor as well with high school students.
Yes, and let me tell you, when I retired from the police department, I went back to school. I gotta share this story with you because you haven't heard it yet.
Okay.
When I retired from the police department, I went back to school, graduated from St. Mary College. Took about
Oh,
2 years.
excellent.
Yeah, and I went down to a high school, the same high school that I graduated from. I went down to the high school looking for a friend. I located my friend, and him and I just talking, conversating. Then all of a sudden, this black lady walks over. I never met her, but she was the principal. She comes over to us and she goes, "Excuse me, sir. I don't mean to butt into you guys' conversation, but did I just hear you say you're a retired police officer?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Are you looking for a job?" And I really wasn't looking for a job. I was down there visiting my friend. So anyhow, I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Here's my card. I want you to be community relation counselor at this school. I can use
Uh-huh.
you. You've been a retired cop. I can use you." So I went down to the district office, and to make a very long story short, I went down to the school district office, told them who I was. They had the resource director come out to shake my hand, and she go, "I understand you're a retired police officer because the principal just called me." She said, "Come into my office and fill out this paperwork. We want to put you to work right away." And and I spent 15 years over at that high
Oh,
school. Yeah,
oh, good on you. That would have been rewarding too.
25 years in law enforcement, and then another 15 years interacting with high school students. And I love my job at the high school. I love my job at the police department, and I love my job at the high school because I get along with
Oh,
kids. I love kids.
oh, that's good. And also, you got a role in a movie, in a series with Don Johnson.
Yeah,
How did
that was
you
nice.
land up with that one? How did you land up with that one?
That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I had a friend of mine call me up and go, "Hey, Sam, you want to do some work on a television show?" I go, "Man, I'm no TV actor. I don't even have any experience in acting. None of that." So he go, "Well, let's give it a try." So anyway, to make a long story short, again, um, I went down to San Francisco, put in my information, and then they called me, say, "Hey, we want you to be what they call a background slash principal actor on the TV show, Don Johnson." Well, I spent the whole 7th season on the show, believe it or not, as a
Oh,
police sergeant. I was a police sergeant. And this it was really cool because I got along with Don Johnson, really cool. He was a really cool guy. And I remember one day, this was after about a year or two, I think, Don Johnson was looking for me to shake my hand, obviously. And he go, "Where's Sam Hill? Where's Sam Hill?" And one guy go, "Hey, he's over there. He's over there in the corner." So Don Johnson comes over to me with his partner, Cheech Marin, who's also one of the main actors on the show. And Don shook his hand out there, and he shook my hand. Cheech Marin go, "Hey, Don, why are you shaking Sam's hand? Oh, you didn't know? Sam wrote the official State of California Mentor song." He go, "Oh my God."
Oh,
And then she shook my hand too.
I'm dying to find out about this Mentor theme song. You have to tell us about it.
Now, I tell you what, the Mentor theme song came to me back in 1999. I was sitting on the couch at my home and I dozed off. I woke up and the song just came to me. It was like it was sprinkled. You know how the things that sprinkle and it goes around like this and whatever. And so I went into my office, my home office, and I turned on the computer and I started writing the lyrics. I started writing the lyrics for that song, and it only took me 35 minutes.
Oh, shame. And now where's the song? Like even Don Johnson was looking for you about this song, wasn't he?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Don Johnson said, "Hey, Sammie, why don't you get a hold of my spokesperson?" You know, because all these big time actors, they have manager, the spokesperson. He said, "Get a hold of my spokesperson and set up a photo shoot. I want to take a picture with you, and you can have it put it in the paper." And we did.
Oh, that's fantastic because it's amazing because I've listened to the song. It is incredible. And it is a mentor song. It really is. And I think it's all through your life experiences because your life now has excelled so much and you've also gone through a divorce as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's no big deal. I mean, I was married for about 30 years, and sometimes a couple can't see eye to eye at a certain time. So so things happen, you know. I mean, I don't hate my ex. There's no animosity, and hey, it's cool. That's my daughter's mother.
Oh, there you go. And you got a grandchild. That's fantastic. Also, you're a filmmaker. Where did all this come in now?
Well, a guy, this friend of mine, and I had wrote this strip. It was made for television, and it had been sitting around for a while. And then later on down the road, my current manager, who's also a screenwriter and film producer, I told him about this script. He said, "Well, send it to me. Let me take a look at it." And it was only like, what, 50 pages, 60 pages. And he said, "Hey, you know what? Let me produce this film. Let me produce this television series." And like I said earlier, it's called What a Nerd, you know, and it's a comedy. It's a comedy educational film. And we went ahead and filmed that project. And it's out there now. You can find it on Amazon, you know, and it's called What a Nerd.
Oh, fantastic. So what's next for you, Sammie?
Well, I tell you, my partner manager, Stephen Bernay, and his wife, Gwen Bernay, she's also a writer. The three of us got together. And we wrote a script. We wrote a television script made for TV, and it's called Mentor Hill.
Oh, that sounds like, oh, I can't wait. It's going to be good. So oh my gosh, I don't know what to say, Sammie. You've had your trials and your tribulations, but you've always seen a positive in everything, and you're strong and you're determined and courageous. And I think your life has just made a very big U-turn. It's actually, your wings are open and you're just soaring now. You've gotten so many award nominations, accolades to your name. That's incredible. How fantastic.
And in fact, Anastasia, in fact, I was in communication with a lady who writes for a magazine, and she writes for a magazine in the UK, and the magazine is called CVH First Class Magazine, and they're going to do a cover story on me in December.
Oh, how exciting.
I want everybody around the world to be touched by this mentor song, because because the song it gets to your heart, okay? And it's a world song for humanity, okay?
Oh, sure is. It sure is. So if you had a message to deliver to the world today, to everyone out there listening, what would that message be?
The message would be, always be kind, always be humble, treat people with respect, okay? Treat people with respect, and listen to this song. And if you don't like this song, you don't have a heart. It's just that simple.
Anyway, thank you so much for your time, Sammie. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being with us here today.
Can I say one thing before we hang up?
You sure
Okay.
can.
Thank you. Okay, I need to give a few shout outs. I want to give a shout out to my daughter. Okay, her name is Samantha. Her son, he's 11 years old. His name is Julian. Give a shout out to him. That's my grandson. And I want to give a shout out to my publicist. Her name is Donna Marshall Zagorian. Also give a shout out to Stephen Bernay, my manager, his wife, Gran Bernay. Also Charles Johnson, who's part of the team, and Eric Sanchez, who's also part of the team. We're a great group of people that's focused on nothing but positiveness, okay? And that's the bottom line.
Love it. I love it. And it goes to show how humble you are, how grateful you are, and you're all heart and soul. Thank you so much, Sammie Lee, for being today on the show. So we're signing off for now from the Talk Show Angel on the Verkos Show. See you later, Sammie.
Thank you.
Bye.